Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Civilization V: A Brave New World as Venice. And unfortunately, there was a technical issue when recording this episode. The microphone did not go for some reason. So I was like, this has happened before, and sometimes I have re-recorded the episodes when that has happened, but I felt like it would have been missing something in this particular situation if I did that. So instead, I've decided to just do a voiceover over the gameplay and play the video back at about twice speed, since I wouldn't be spending as much time doing the live discussion. But here we are. We are in a war against Assyria, mostly, well, for two reasons. One, of course, we want to defend the fair Catherine, who, you know, apparently is not a very big empire at this point in history for some reason. I don't know why, what could have possibly happened to her. But also, one of the big incentives that we've got is to try to free or liberate Vatican City from Assyria, because the reason for that is we want to have more allies. I mean, in general, having city-state allies is good. Plus, we're playing as Venice, so I feel like we are the great defender of the city-states. We are forming a nation of city-states, almost. And, so I have a responsibility to my fellow city-staters. But most importantly, we are still going for a diplomatic victory, and having each city-state ally you have gives you additional votes in the World Congress. Now, it's already pretty significant in that we are currently getting one for each of them, and I think there's like 14 city-states out there. I don't remember what the numbers work out as exactly, but I think there's currently 14 city-states. That may or may not be including Vatican City, I'm not sure. But when we get into the next era, they're not going to give us one vote per city-state. They're going to give us two. We're going to get twice as much, and that is going to be incredibly potent. You can see here there's an election coming up, and I'm trying to debate where to put my votes based on what people want, because I have some spies, or some diplomats at this point, so I've got an idea about how people will want to vote. But most of the people who are against world ideology freedom are also in favor of banning silk as a luxury. Now, I'm hoping to push the freedom ideology through because I'm freedom, so I would like to get additional votes that way. It's actually going to benefit anyone else who takes that ideology. So what I've decided to do is put enough votes into the freedom ideology to guarantee that it goes through, even knowing that not everyone who's against it is going to vote against it. I feel like that's the most important thing, so I decided to push that through. So yeah, in the next era, or the one after that, I'm not sure which one it is, or where we are at this state in the game, city-state votes are going to be worth twice as much. So already I have a monopoly over them, so I'm probably in a good place to win a diplomatic victory as is, but having Vatican City liberated and being another pair of votes in my pocket is going to be awfully, awfully nice. So that seems, it's a big set of things, and there's no doubt that I have a large military. I think at some point, either in this video or the previous one, I don't remember, there was one of those screens that came up, and I had like twice as many pointy sticks as the next person in the list. So I wasn't in a very good position here to take out any of Assyria's cities, just because all my stuff was too far, but I was certainly in a good position in terms of forces, right? So I wasn't in an actual position. I wasn't close to his stuff, and I could not get open borders with Russia unless I gave up like absolutely everything that I had. But other than that, I was in a good position in the metaphorical sense. So there was some delay to getting the war started because I had to ship everything over, but it's not like I was ever at any risk. There was no cost to me in doing this, other than breaking some trading deals for a little while, which was not particularly a big deal. Here I am shopping around for the next proposal to put forward, and I actually missed what it was, but the world ideology of freedom did go through, and the ban on silk, I believe, also went through here, which technically hurts me. I do have silk, so I think I lost 6 happiness from that, but it's not a big deal. I have more than enough happiness in general to make up for it. So that's what I proposed, I think, is to repeal the ban on silk. Now, there's a good chance that people are going to present alternative proposals that I will want to vote down, so we might not get our silk back, but we're gonna see how it goes. That's actually an embargo on trading it, I think, more than anything else. I do have some pretty powerful ships at this point, and I was able to rush by some units over there in Yerevan. I'm very happy to have had that city, actually. It worked out to be an exceptionally good place from which to launch an attack. Some quick ships. I also built a few planes. Unfortunately, I built one plane sort of in my main continent, and it was too far away to do any rebasing magic over to Yerevan, which was an unfortunate downside. But I did get a carrier out over here because even Yerevan was a little too far out of range. I think if I'd gone for the extended range on the bombers, I might have been able to reach one of Assyria's cities, but as it turned out, it's like, no, we're going to play with with carrier ships, 'cause that's cool. Here I am looking through the list, like, where the hell are the damn airplanes? It's kind of annoying that I can't, like, manually select them on the map for any reason. So I had to go through kind of one at a time and try to rebase them. And that one that I can't rebase, it's because that's the one in my mainland that can't reach. But I did take the cargo upgrades on the carrier, so I can actually fit 4 planes on there. So that's what I end up doing. I make pretty good use out of them. I mean, the planes do get damaged on their bombing runs, but by having 4 of them around and against an enemy who is technologically quite far behind, it was pretty easy for me to use these planes to bombard the crap out of the Assyrian cities in the north. And that's the thing. I mean, it was a slow slog getting everything in place, but ultimately I was in a good position to hit him in 2 places at once. I definitely want to take Vatican City because as soon as I take it, it'll give me the option to liberate. I think if I get Vatican City in a peace deal, I'd also have the option to whether I wanted to puppet, liberate, or raise. But it seemed just a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit better and more appropriate, certainly, more poetic to march in there and liberate it with my actual troops, and then give it their freedom and then continue the war against Assyria at that point. It felt good. One of the problems, of course, is the first set of troops that could reach Vatican City, both because they're high speed, but also just they happen to have proximity, tend to be all cavalry. Now, cavalry get like a 33% penalty to their attack against cities. And by cavalry, I just mean like general, like horsey type people in general. And I don't know if they all have the same 33% penalty, but I know that at least some of these guys did. It was the Hakkas and and an actual cavalry unit or 2. And I did have some artillery, but they were quite far behind, and they certainly do not move very quickly. So it was kind of awkward to try to attack the city with those forces. So again, if I'd been thinking that I was going to go to war against these guys sooner, I would have. I did have a few ships in position. Unfortunately, they were ironclads and I think a great galleass or something. So originally that wasn't in a fantastic situation. So in the end, it was very, very nice that I had Yerevan here. And you can see those battleships. I think they're battleships. Or destroyers or whatever, when they start bombarding the cities, they actually do a pretty impressive amount of damage by themselves, and they're certainly really good at killing units as well. Although, obviously, the bombers are even better. There's a freaking Russian worker that's in enemy territory for some reason, which is A, stupid in general, and B, gets in my way. Like, Catherine, why are you being like this? Not opening borders. Like, if we could open borders with Cathy, we would have taken Vatican City by now. There's no doubt. I mean, we've got roads and all kinds of things, and it should have been okay. Although she's got a lot of units, too, and they tend to get in the way, so in general, it might have been a pain in the ass. Here I am doing some more bombards. I use 1 on a ship, and they do pretty well there. My planes, I did just give them the city-busting ability. I think one of my planes got 1 upgrade for, like, land bombardment as opposed to the city. The idea being I can use that one to plunk off units while the others bombard cities. But frankly, with the battleships there, I was not at a loss for bombardment in general. Like, it wasn't even a thing. Yeah, so I finally get my ironclads back to friendly territory so I can heal them. I mean, and that's the thing. At the north, it was like great. I had these great bombard ships, and then I realized I had no melee ships, so I had to slow march over my infantry to actually be able to take it. And I suppose I could have bought some sort of melee ship. There must be a modern era melee ship that I'm just not thinking of. I mean, ironclads don't have an upgrade right now, so presumably I can still build them anyway, so maybe I should have done that in Yerevan. And that would have actually been pretty damn fast. And it actually did not occur to me until just now that would have been a really good way. And what's really annoying is that I don't have a friendly port on the south of the continent here. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that I want to liberate Vatican City, it would be an unbelievably good city for me to just own so that I have just another port down here. Very reminiscent to some of the strategies that you'll see in something like Europa or Victoria or something, where you want these ports scattered around the world. And for that, mostly it's to extend your supply range. But when you've got so much money and you can rush by units as Venice like this, then it actually works out pretty favorably. I was so annoyed that I didn't kill that Gatling gun or whatever that was with my infantry in 1 shot. It was so like left with a sliver of health and it's guarding a worker. So I was just annoyed. That's definitely the right phrase. In fact, I believe that's a Russian worker. And eventually I will be able to take it. And if I'm not mistaken, I liberate that or I give it back to Cathy because, obviously I'm going to do that. I'm just a nice kind of fellow. And this is the first game actually where I finally use pillaging correctly or just use it. There was a lot of getting hit with my units and not really having much else to do with them. And what's nice about the mounted units is they can move, attack, and then still have enough movement left over to do a pillage and heal up. And man, I've never really made use of it before. So it's a shame that this is the video that gets eaten, because so many times people have screamed at me for not doing that kind of thing. But it's usually like, hey, I'm busy. I got other things to do, guys. Or, you know, maybe I forget. It's one of those. I'm not sure. Oh, it is a battleship. Excellent. I haven't actually been catching the name of that ship properly. That vessel. All right. Oh, the worker actually went out to sea, so I wasn't able to rescue it this turn. And the other thing that's kind of a pain in the ass is I've got my Gatling gun in the way, and I don't think my Gatling gun can actually take a city because it's a ranged unit, so I had to wait one extra turn for my infantry to get into place. Other than that, well, I mean, there's no doubt that Vatican City is going to fall. It's just always a question of cost and efficiency, right? Especially once I remembered. I got here with all my mounted units and remembered, oh, right, they're no good at attacking cities. Like, I think I do a test run from well, actually, I think that was a position across the river at some point. And, you know, I like just mouse over for the attack, and I would have just gone from completely healthy to completely dead in one attack and barely dented Vatican City. I mean, both the river across the water and all its built-in defenses, it was just miserable. And here I am coming in with just more mounted units, so I'm really not making any progress that way. But as soon as the artillery gets into place, it's going to be fine. I'm curious here, is like, is there any chance that he would just peace out for Vatican City by itself? No, looks like no. And, you know, I would have taken it just to save time and a little bit of effort. Even though, again, I know I could roll over the entire world. I could actually probably do a 100% conquest of the world at this point. But, you know, that's not what we're about. That being said, I will certainly take cities when I can. At the very least, at some point, I'm going to need this guy to peace out with me. So, I mean, I guess he's already willing to peace out. But I'm going to want him to peace out better. Maybe give up an extra city. That would be nice. But more than anything, I just want to liberate Vatican City. So I think my plan at this point, actually my plan, since bombarding in the north is going so good, I'm like, well, I guess I want 2 cities now. My artillery is almost in position, finally, to start bombarding Vatican City. I finally got some actual infantry units nearby, which means I'll be able to, there we go. There you go, Kathy. This is for you. Still guarded, but what can you do, right? Yeah, so I've got some actual normal infantry units who will be able to take out this city. Like, it's such a long waste of time. I think this war started in, what, 1926? And it's now 1937. It's a little fuzzy on my preview screen that I'm looking at now, but I think that was I think it just went from 36 to 37. Oh, yeah, we started in 26. I don't remember what I said. Anyway, I think we started in 26. So this is a hell of a great war. I mean, it's a pretty long one with the very slow-moving lines of battle. You know, you'd think at this point in history we would have learned that cavalry is not really particularly useful at anything. Especially with Gatling guns out there. They tend to be pretty effective, but I don't know. History in Civilization 5 does not quite work the same way. I've got a free Great Writer, and lots of events. All my airplanes got upgrades, which is nice. Few people have adopted the freedom ideology, but I believe Poland takes autocracy, which is certainly going to be quite awkward for us, what with sharing the continent and all. Polish, like, Nazis, I think. Autocracy is the fascist one, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I've got that city. Again, I'm sort of, like, dealing with, like, incredibly inconvenient positioning of my units, requiring a whole other turn to get things done. But what can you do? So I'm upgrading my bombers. I'm mostly stocking them in the city, because I wasn't sure how well they healed on the carriers. I mean, they're probably okay, but I was like, oh, just playing it kind of safe there. At this point, I'm like, why is this Great Galleus here? And why does it want me to do something? Go back to friendly territory so I can heal you. Or upgrade you, rather. And here with my Rider, I was commenting on the fact that some people freaked out that I used a Rider at some point for not a Great Work. And I was like, okay, well, the Great Work gives you what as a base? 2 culture, 2 tourism, and I don't particularly care about tourism. And at this point, it's rather late in the game. Like, I'd rather just a big boost of culture. I mean, no one's going for a tourism victory anyway, so I'm not terribly concerned. And I'm not going for a tourism victory. And, you know, I'll take the culture boost instantly so that I can just more quickly go up and pick up some more social policies, because why not, right? Social policies are awesome. Got to finish that patronage branch. I think it gets finished in this video. For all I know, it's already happened on this video, and I just missed it. You know, attack some more units, generally be very annoying. and do a little bit of bombard. I mean, Vatican City's pretty well defended. It's going to take a few bombards there, but it's going to fall pretty soon. Even if I have to sacrifice a few mounted units, I was totally willing on doing it. It's not like I don't have enough stuff here. And I love that. See, I just did that with my cavalry there. I attacked and then healed by pillaging all in the same turn, just because I had enough. More ideologies adopted. Was that another great merchant? I think so. Or merchant of Venice, rather. Yeah, do that. Get the extra kills. Get some more free kills. And just generally rack up the damage. Oh, here's going to be really annoying. I'm like... I think I'm wrestling with trying to get a great merchant up to the city in the north, and I just decide, you know what? Tyre is going to be way, way, way easier. I'm trying to decide who to trade with, and I sorted it by gold. Thank you for people who pointed out that pull-down menu would let me sort it for gold right there. That's actually really handy. And it was like, oh, Poland. Wait, no, let's go to Russia. I gotta trade with Russia. I was getting almost as much gold from the trade with Russia, and I would not be giving as much and as many beakers away to someone who's kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, I mean, you know, percentage-wise, it's not a huge number of beakers, but it just still felt like, I don't know, still felt wrong with trading with the person who's conceivably my biggest threat. I'm not sure. I don't think there's going to be a risk of anyone nuking me or anything, but that's always, you know, you always got to keep that in mind in your back pocket as a potential threat. Anyway, we are quickly rolling to the end of this video. I think I've got an extra couple of minutes. We're going to be fine here. Syria and Ethiopia are friends. We are finally bombarding Vatican City, but we've got some time to go. At this point, though, I'm feeling pretty confident that victory is assured there. I mean, the only question mark that was ever in my mind is how much of a pain in the ass is it to move all my units there. Liberated Vatican City, which is great. I do not want to march on the capital of Assyria. I mean, everyone's already denouncing me, so it doesn't really matter terribly much. But I'm just like, I'm holding my troops back. I could have just rolled in and taken everything, but I'm intentionally holding my troops back. Although I do see that, Nivene is quite low. So I was like, I may as well take Nivene. There's another trade with Russia because I can. Just going to move that unit out of the way. But yeah, so he's got 3 cities left on this continent. I don't know if he's got anything else anywhere else. I don't think so. There you go, the final bombard to get it down to 0. Take another city there, talk to Assyria, negotiate peace. He's going to offer me this little crappy population 2 town over here. I'm like, oh, it's got a lot of resources. That's pretty cool. But on the, just out of curiosity, would you give me your city with bigger population? Oh. Yeah, okay, I'll take Nimrud with its 15 populace. That's and coastal access. I'm totally okay with that. Yeah, that'll do. So all in all, a pretty good game. And I'm pretty happy with the progress. And, yeah. See you guys next time when we're going to have regular audio. Bye-bye, folks.